of guys who shot to stardom when they had their own television series way back in the dark ages of the 1960s. Tawny Elaine hardly remembers it was so long ago.
Oh, that's not true.
They had major hits such as Take the Last Train to Clarksville and I'm a Believer, which I think was written by Neil Diamond. And words, please welcome Mickey Dolenz, Peter Tork, Davy Jones, the Monkees! Oh, boy. Boy, that was a long time ago.
Really now?
Was it ever? Holy cow, that was
I remember the quake of 71.
Do you really?
I do.
We started walking in here about 8 o'clock.
It was a long time. We walked
from 8 o'clock to get to the car to here.
If there are people out here watching the show who are so young or just arrived from another planet and they don't know about...
No.
No, that's the producer. And they don't know about the Monkees. How would you describe what the Monkees were and what they are now?
Hey, here we are, the Monkees.
No, before.
Good
Can't
question.
remember which verse to do first.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, television cast slash pop group with pretensions in either direction.
I think the Marx Brothers...
What a great explanation. Thank you, Peter. Yes.
I think the Marx Brothers, with music, is closest kind of thing you could describe it as.
I think if they just watch the TV show, turn it on anywhere in the middle of the beginning of the end, it doesn't matter.
How about
There's no plot, there's no story.
the NBC News Hour with music?
It's just
report.
it's just good fun. The Monkees was good fun for the
maybe.
characters.
For you, maybe.
And also for the audience. And that's why it's sort of gone on and on. That's why you still see these sort of dead-end kids in the Barry Boys and the Marx Brothers movies. I think the Monkees will be seen in 20 years from now, hopefully anyway.
Well, the casting call went out for what? 4 zany boys, ages 17 to 21.
Madmen,
Which
right?
None of us qualified for except
They couldn't get them, so they chose us.
Well,
Of course, I didn't go to the cattle call myself.
Oh.
were you?
Well, no.
Why? Why was
Well,
it?
one doesn't when one has an agent and one goes to private interview, doesn't one, Steve?
On the other hand,
Yes.
when one is absolutely desperate for work and willing to do anything, one will go to the cattle call and be thrilled to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Brought you down, didn't it? Now, but the truth is that Mickey was, of course, he played the famous role of Circus Twerp back in 19... What was that called?
Circus Twerp?
Circus Boys. Yeah. Who remembers that when he played Circus Twerp? That was so long ago. Do you remember that?
Of course not.
He was Mickey Braddock back in those days. Mickey
right.
Braddock.
A pet elephant?
He still has that elephant,
He
actually.
was
sits
the
on
pet
road.
elephant. That's...
And you, Davy, had quite a career going. You played the Artful Dodger in Oliver. You took it all the way from London to New York.
That's right. I had a great thrill last year. I was in Kansas City, Starlight Theatre, when I got the chance to play the part of Fagin, which was quite a challenge. I enjoyed doing it. I'm doing it again in Florida, in Miami,
Davy,
in November.
You're here in L.A. You can drop the accent, would you please? Just drop the accent. We know you're not.
Hey, I can talk like this if you want. You know what I'm saying?
And Peter, what were you
He'd been
doing?
monkeying around, so to speak, in the music business.
I
before
was
this series.
already a has-been at the age of 22 or 23, and it's a career which I have gloried in and continued to glory in ever since.
Because I remember...
Didn't do anything, really. I was a folk singer before I did this, and that's all.
Well, that's doing something.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys had careers.
Careers.
They had careers.
Well, they were actors, and you were the struggling musician.
Yeah, so was Mike, for that matter.
Yeah.
Of whom...
Mike
Wait a minute.
Nesmith.
Where
There's
is
somebody
he?
missing.
Where's Mike?
Where's Mike
Well, he
Nesmith?
takes a little longer to
There
get
he
to
is.
than we do.
There's Mike. Mike, good morning. How are you?
Mike.
Hi, Mac.
Mike will be joining us at the Universal Amphitheater on the 9th for our big show. These are the plugs now.
We're getting him in early because we got a lot of time here.
Oh,
okay.
we have time? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys were... I was, like, Twitter-pating and all that stuff, because this was my age group here. Steve, you were...
Twitter-pating or adult-pating?
You're dating yourself.
Well, so be it. And I remember when you guys first burst onto the scene as it was, and you had so much criticism for not being actors or not being musicians or just lip-syncing this or phoning up that. And it used to make me mad as a fan to hear all of this stuff. And
You were
now,
synthetic and artificial.
I want you to know.
Don't let the truth
I
spoil the news.
I heard this. I heard that. Is it Poison? The group had their first video was on MTV before they'd ever performed before public, and these guys were picked so cold-bloodedly that it makes us look like a redwood forest by comparison.
Hey, but you know what? 20 years from now, Poison will not be on the morning
Yeah,
show.
that's right.
I mean,
Well, we don't know that. It's
But
possible.
I mean, when you now know what you guys were all about, that was so unfair because you did have 2 of you were musicians, 2 of you were actors. You were there legitimately. You belonged.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
but the thing about the New York actors.
Don't worry,
you
it
said.
doesn't matter.
You're telling me about the New York actors that were
Oh
watching.
yeah,
What's that?
we really had a lot of this criticism, and I got stung by it. I really felt it myself, that the story about the synthetic musicians, and I thought, well, all the musicians were saying to me, I don't know about your music, you guys. I mean, the show is fun, but the music, eh. And so I thought, the actors sort of appreciated what we were doing. And I heard later on that the young actors in New York, off-Broadway actors, were saying as a general rule of thumb, hey, the music's all right, but those guys got such a lousy shot acting like that. Just took a lucky break. No talent slobs off the street. The music is fine, but these
So
guys can't.
envy with maybe a degree of accuracy, a small degree of accuracy.
No.
No degree of accuracy
Accuracy
whatsoever.
with a little degree of envy. That's
Did Neil Diamond write I'm a Believer? Did I
Yes,
make
he
that
did.
up? Yes, he did.
And a little bit me, a little bit you.
A little bit me, a little bit you.
Yeah, a couple tunes. We had a lot of good writers.
and the
associated with
Star-Spangled
the show.
Banner. He wrote.
Did not.
Carole King.
Carole King wrote a lot of the tunes. Harry Nilsson had his
Goffman.
first
Right.
hit with us. Jerry Goffman.
Jerry Goffman.
Paul
David
Williams.
Gates.
Yeah,
Tommy
David
Boyce
Gates.
and Bobby Hart.
Tommy Boyce.
Mike
Yeah.
Nesmith, Mickey
Mike
Dolenz,
Nesmith.
Peter Talk, Davy
You know what you'd
Jones.
have to explain to us? Do we take a break right now? When we come back, it's like the Monkees disappeared, nobody cared about them, whatever. Suddenly, little step by step, people started caring again, and now it's a full-fledged thing. But in the meantime, you guys have led the lives of 12 bad television miniseries, number one, each. And number two, there were the different musical aggregations. I mean, you had the new Monkees and the new Monks, and you were and Boyce and Hart traveled with you guys as the Monkees.
I traveled as Elvis for a
You
while.
traveled as Elvis? By the way, Elvis will be with us when we come back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
We'll have a power lunch, power breakfast, and all the old...
Okay, we are back. Hey, they're the Monkees, and they are with us right now, Mickey
People
Dolenz.
say they monkey around.
And they do.
And they are
talk.
right, more or less,
David Jones.
in a manner of speaking.
By the
So
way,
are you still good? Wait, are you guys still good?
are you guys good now?
Oh, singing.
Singing? Or do you mean morals-wise? I mean,
No, I mean singing. If
Have we
people
burned the
sing
flag
without
I
a
mean,
concert-
there's obviously an audience for everything, and I mean, I have my favorite singers.
even...
that
sorry.
I have my favorite singers that I listen to, but ours is an act. We're not particularly. We like to play instruments, and we are musical. But the Monkees TV show was a show about a musical band trying to make it. And, evolved from that, became the concerts and the records and all kinds of stuff. So for Mickey and I especially, it was another acting job. And then the music came, and there was Peter and Mike started playing in the dressing room and saying, oh, why don't we form a band? And then we started playing, and, we went out and did 200 concerts on the road, and there was no other musicians there. There were no tapes. There were, obviously, when we played the national anthem, people from every country stood up, so it wasn't that great. But
it was fun.
It was still fun, and that's all that show business is. You cannot take it seriously. I mean, I act in theatre and come off the stage at night after playing Jesus in Godspell or something. I say, this is ridiculous. I've just been crucified on the cross, I mean, that's 8 days a week, matinees, Wednesdays and Fridays, I mean, it's sort of, what is this all about? But it's a job. You're acting, you're having fun, you're making money. You're watching your kids grow. We've all got children.
That's very true. We're
It's amazing the way the boy can go on using the English language from one minute to the next, but you can't
Very
understand the thing you're saying.
Well, that's
You all like each other?
At times. It's like brothers, you get a sibling relationship, and there's a rivalry, and there's love, and there's hate, and there's anger, and then there's
But
joy.
on
and
the stage, there's
closest
a
thing I
gel of,
Yeah,
personalities.
I have it
that
in my
works.
hair, the gel that we put it in.
That's an interesting point because you didn't pick each other.
No.
You were picked and thrown
We were
together.
cast, as Davey said, we were cast in this. It's like if Sal Mineo, had gone out on the road as Gene Krupa for 3 years after the movie.
And done drum solos the whole time.
That's all, yeah. Just
Yeah, that would have been
He and
exciting.
Steve Allen could have gone out next. Steve
Benny
Allen
Goodman
playing
and-
Benny Goodman
I
and
got the
Gene
illusion,
Krupa,
but
yeah.
nobody else
Very
did.
similar.
some of you guys have been through a lot. We do not have time here to
Part
chronicle
of me's
all
been
of it.
through a lot.
No, no. You, Peter, you've been through enough for...
I was, yeah,
Quite
I
a
did
hard time.
Yeah.
some, yeah, lots of things. We don't have time, right?
Is it who?
I mean, I don't
Are you
mind,
the
but
one
we
who
don't have
said?
time.
It's one of you had a line that said that if you remember the '60s, you didn't live them.
You weren't really there.
You weren't really
You
there.
weren't there, okay.
I heard that.
But he copped it.
From
I
somebody
caught him
else.
some, yes. No, it was a joke. If you can remember the '60s, you weren't really there, which in our case wasn't really true. I mean, we got in a little bit of trouble, but I mean, nothing compared to what was going on at the time, because we were too isolated. Again, we weren't this group that was really locked in to the music scene. We were this television show that we showed up at 7 o'clock in the morning. We filmed for 12 hours, then we went to rehearse, then we went to record, then we went on the road, and there wasn't time to do much of anything else except work at the time.
The fact is, you guys have not only been around long enough, but you have flourished to the point where you're getting a star on Hollywood Boulevard on the 10th of July. The Monkees are getting a star. I have a question. Is Michael going to show up for that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
He's also going to show up for the convention, the Monkey Convention, on, I
Monkey-
think, the 8th,
Monkey
7th, 8th,
9th,
and 9th.
Seventh,
No,
eighth.
8th, 9th,
Ninth,
and 10th.
8th, 9th,
Universal Amphitheater.
8th, 9th, 10th?
8th, 9th, and 10th?
This is like the
8th,
Creel
9th, and 10th.
triplets.
Yes. Yes.
Next week.
They're
Next
great.
week
What
you'll
you
see
said,
them.
yes.
But you know, the 60s was not all fun full of fun and flower power and waterbeds and Hare Krishna. There was lots of stuff happening in the 60s, like the Vietnam War and the March of Civil Rights on Washington and things like that, Martin Luther King. And it's much the same happening now, 20-odd years ago, and they shoot them in Beijing Square instead of at the university.
And one
on
other
the road,
thing, one
at
other
Kent
thing.
State.
The movie you did, Head.
Yes.
Written by Jack Nicholson. Did you know in 1967 or 68 that Nicholson would become the actor, the American actor of his generation?
Yes, I'm very good at precognitive. I knew he would do The Shining. I knew
Yes.
that.
Thank you, Mickey
Before it was
Braddock.
written, before
Okay.
Stephen King wrote it, I knew he would do it.
What about the new Monkees? Last year they cast for
Oh, you hated them. Tell the
No, I
truth.
didn't know.
Come on.
We wished him the best of luck. Had a
We
good
were
laugh.
hoping that they would make it so that Columbia Pictures could charge them for a percentage for using the name.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Stay here. We'll be back. It's very easy for you to come down to the show for free tickets. Call 213-660-2244.
I used to date Bert Schneider. Be in Anaheim, the
No,
8th,
it is
Universal,
first.
the 9th and 10th, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I wanted to get it in because
We're going to
we
get
have
it at the
time.
end.
Hurry up.
What happened to the extra 30? Did we change our time?
Are you a frustrated housewife? Are you ready to kill your kids and your husband? If you are, please call this number right now, 557-5184. We want you on the show tomorrow.
Okay, goodbye, Mickey. Limousine and professional services provided by West Coast Detectives.